The legend himself, Frankie Edgar, although you don't want to hear that words. You don't want to be talking legend until it's all said and done.
Yeah, I'm not one to pat myself on the back. I think legend is for when you're an old man on a rocking chair.
Well, for a quote-unquote old man, you've still got it. You're still fighting at a very elite level. How do you sort of map out the future when you're at this point in your career?
Yeah, just take it one at a time. I don't have an end date on anything. I'm still enjoying what I do. I still think I could hang with the best fighters in the world, and my goal is still to be a champion. I know I had a couple hiccups past fight, but I'm going to a new weight class, and we're going to see what that brings.
You're going into a weight class that's filled with killers. Does that motivate you? Does that get you even more excited?
Yeah, I got into the sport to fight the best, from day one, and it's no different. I'm going to go down 35 and try to fight the best guys there.
We've never seen somebody move around as easily from weight class to weight class as you've been able to do, and you mix that with your longevity. Guys your size don't seem to be great in their late 30s. How have you been able to do this, be a floater and pull it off wherever you go and stay at the highest level?
I think just consistency. I'm in the gym all the time. I'm always trying to learn. I don't take this for granted. I know it could slip away real quickly, and the sport's still it's not so young anymore. It's been around for a while, but it's changing every day. And if you stay out of the gym, you're going to get passed by. And luckily, I've been able to keep up with the pack.
How hard of a cut is this for you at 135?
It's gonna suck, a little bit. I don't think it's any more than any of the other 35-pounders are here. So, now I'm gonna be pretty much where everyone else is. And I still don't think I'm gonna be the biggest 35-pounder either.
Look, a lot of controversy when Jose Aldo gets the title shot, coming off of 2 defeats. I talked to Dana about it. He said, when was the last time we weren't getting criticized for making fun matchups? How do you view that?
I get where they're coming from. There's the other guys that are more deserving for sure. But, you see how this company goes, and they put fights that they think they're going to sell the most, And I know they're looking for they would love to have a Brazilian champion. It's a pretty good opportunity to give Aldo another shot. He did have a close fight, and Cejudo's calling him out, so it kind of made sense.
You at times in your early rise, people were kind of calling you the Arturo Gatti of MMA for a little bit. Is that something that you loved, or maybe something that you're like, hey, I'm a little bit more skilled, I'm a championship level? How'd you feel those compliments?
I love him, man. I was a Arturo Gatti fan growing up. Obviously he's Jersey claimed him. I know he's a Canadian guy, but Jersey claimed him, and he's all heart, man. And if I get described by my heart, that's the best thing you can get described by.
Well, that seemed to be your greatest skill among being a great boxer and takedowns and all that. Do you think it was something that separated you from the very elite peers that you had, that you always knew you had more in the tank or more willingness to go through what you needed to?
Yeah, I do. I was in a sport, I was in a weight classes that I'm always the smaller guy. I'm probably not the strongest guy, so I had to make it up for it somehow, and I was able to do that with my grit and determination.
Well, speaking of a guy like Gatti, him and Mickey Ward sort of have this connection for the rest of their lives. They became great friends, have trained each other, all that stuff. Who do you think's the one guy from your past that you will be linked with when your career is all said and done?
Probably edgar-maynard. We had some pretty epic fights, especially the last 2. We fought 3 times. One was a draw, won 1, lost 1. So, I think we'll be connected. I always see him around. He's always a good guy, too. So, we got a little story together.
There were a few different seasons where you seemingly were deserving of a Conor McGregor fight more than anyone, and you never quite got there. Big lament in your career?
Yeah, it's something I definitely... I'm upset that didn't come to fruition. There was a couple times, you're right. Even not too long ago, even he fought Cowboy, he was calling me out first. So I was trying to get that, but that's the way that life goes. And I don't know, who knows? Maybe down the road. I mean, we still got a couple more years left. Maybe he does too. And if we link up, that'd be great. But if not, it'll be a missed opportunity.
You fought at 155 in your absolute prime, and looking back, it's like, how were you able to pull that off, knowing the size of the guys you can go against there? If you could have done your career over, would you have stayed in the same weight classes at the same times that you have?
When I first got in the UFC, 55 was the only division that there was. When I first started fighting MMA, there wasn't even a 55 division in the UFC. So I thought I was going to have to go overseas to fight. And then once they brought the 55-pound division back, I was like, this is the only spot I can fight at. So that's... But when they did come up with the 45, I was obviously reluctant. I stayed at 55 because I was successful. I mean, I went down at 55 after losing 2 really close fights that, I thought I won to Benson Henderson. So, who knows? Maybe I could still be the champ 55 and didn't lose those fights.
All right, it's not time to look back on your career, but do you have the one loss out of all of them that eats at you the most, that you're hitting the bag still these days? You're like, man, if I can go back and fix that, I'd do it right now.
It's just always the last one. You know, this one's most fresh in my head. One I want to kick myself for, you know, a little bit. But you got to get over it, man. And, you know, I've been down before, you know, so you just got to climb up and get back up on your feet.
All right, to close here, you're going to be in the midst of it at 135. We've got young guys on the rise. We've got some older names trying to kick back in there. Dominic Cruz is around, Cody Garbrandt. What type of name would be next for you if you could have your way?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to let Ali and the UFC figure it out. Someone, you know, in the top 10, obviously. We'll see. We'll see. I know they're kicking around some names now, so I hope to find out something soon.
You got a question? This is the answer. Frankie Edgar, always a pleasure talking to you, buddy.
Brother, appreciate it, man.